All of us coming back. I cannot accept this fade to black, and the thought of the wasted dreams of a nation down on its knees. Is it already over? Tickets to the circus show. If you don't, then you'll never know. Take a stand while you have the time. Drown your fear and keep hope alive. Be the change that you want to see. Be the wrench inside the machine. Is it already over? Is it already over? It's over. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Small Town Underground. This is an unannounced show tonight, after Christmas special, and it's a collab with War Room Georgia. We've got Antonio Jones on with us tonight. We really didn't tell nobody we were doing this. We've been trying 2 or 3 different times to do this. So at my home studio tonight, so I'm watching to make sure that our network stays up. We are recording this, but just a few drop frames here. But it looks like we're still live, and we will be taking comments from everybody tonight in the chat. So come on in if you want to. So welcome to the show, everybody. Yeah, I hope everybody had a good Christmas, and man, it's just what a whirlwind we're ending in 2025. Just a few days from now, fixing to start the big 2026, and so I think tonight it's just kind of, all hands on deck. We're just gonna talk about it. So I want to tell you, me and Antonio talked quite a bit, but we have not even spoke today. We already talked to each other about doing a show, so. On this collab, anything goes, all right. And I just want to warn people out there, like if you're just a regular old bootlicker, you're probably not going to like this show tonight, okay? And I warn you, if you're a bootlicker, you might just need to just turn it off and go look at something else. Also, you can help us share this out. I haven't even shared it to any groups yet, fixing to start, but I'm just saying, man, this is not going to be for the faint of heart, probably. I don't know, but we're not going to go crazy. But the truth has no boundaries. And we're going to look at this thing as truthfully as we can, balls and strikes. And I know Antonio is, too. So, well, welcome to the show, man.
Christmas in behind us. And it's a pretty exciting time. I've had my mother-in-law still here, And we had a candlelight service at the church, which is very nice. Every year, we just kind of get together and talk about the reason why we celebrate Christmas and
Yes.
everything. But overall, the kids had a pretty good Christmas, and we had brunch, which you do brunch on Christmas instead of the regular food. Just kind of hang out in pajamas. So it was really laid back. That's kind of how we do it, and it's always a fun time.
Yeah, let me know out there if you can hear Antonio. He's coming in loud and clear, but for some reason he's not coming in my main feed. But I turned his feed on, so can everybody hear
Let me see.
Antonio?
I
Hear
was
Antonio?
I was trying to see
Can you?
somebody made a mention, so you might have to read the comments on your side because I don't know if they're gonna.
Hmm,
Let me see.
I don't know, but we're gonna get this right.
Right.
For
Well,
some reason,
somebody making comments. Hold on, on your side because I don't know if they're gonna. Oh yeah, they can. I think everybody can hear.
okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna leave your audio on. You guys let me know because I'm haven't done a live in a while. Let me know that he's
Oh yeah,
not.
Christina says she can hear.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
And
so I think
as long as you're not coming in like echoey. Great, great. Got to forgive me, folks. I'm using some equipment I don't normally use, and it was coming through just fine, but then it went squirrely. So
yeah,
anyway,
yeah, sound good.
I just want to make sure. Anyway, yeah, man. I think we got a few things to talk about tonight, and the first thing, I gotta clear the room here about this Epstein list. All right, because a lot of people, I don't, a lot of people are just like don't understand the Epstein list, and we're gonna get to all the election stuff in just a little bit. All right, but man, so they drop 1.7 million more documents out, I guess, because they were afraid of Massey and Rokahana, who were going to, put charges down on the DOJ because of their really crappy release, which it was a fairly crappy release. And now there's it's almost as if like they said, man, like they were working on, marking out the dump, blacking out the pages, and they just said, just dump it because there's definitely some stuff that's coming out showing co-conspirators and other things. And what a wild ride! What can I say? I think the Trump administration botched this entire Epstein thing a few months ago, way back when, and for whatever reason, and I'll get to my point in a minute about all this because I love Donald Trump, and I'm not ashamed that I voted for him 3 times, whatever. If I had to vote for him again, I'd vote for him tomorrow. But the tweet that he put out, like over Christmas, it's like I find it harder and harder to defend him, and harder to like be okay with just letting him say whatever he says. So again, more to drop, and who knows what we're gonna, if anybody's gonna get arrested or if we're gonna have any kind of justice. But I'm all for seeing it drop, and there should be a whole lot more out there. And there's really no way they can't. But what's your take on this Epstein list?
Well, I feel the same way when it comes to like Thomas Massey, MTG, and we have to remind people if it wouldn't hadn't been for I think it was Anna Paulina Luna, Massey, and Marjorie really pushing to get this list released, then it wouldn't even be out here. What was kind of strange to me, I feel the same way about the president. Support the president. I think he's doing the best he can, but his ego, I believe, gets in the way of some things and cause him to look waffly. And I don't think that's the right thing. And I just want to remind everybody that we have 3 branches of government: we have the executive, judicial, and legislative. And I don't like um, when what Kemp does down here in the Georgia Dome. He pushes the legislators around. Okay, if it goes along the lines of what the people really want, then that's a different thing. But we want the legislature to operate as the legislature. What if the governor is wrong? Which I believe he's been wrong on many occasions.
Dead.
Now, I don't believe Trump is ill-intended, but he still has a faction of bad people around him, I believe, close in his circle. So we don't need him bashing people that have good voting records, and things like that. It's just that type of stuff just don't make any sense to me. Because what if he's wrong, or what if he's got a bad piece of intel? Maybe Thomas Massey, Marjorie, Anna Paulina Luna, and a handful of others might be right. But we
Mm-hmm.
don't need the president to come out and start throwing flames at these people who clearly have pretty good records,
Yeah.
to my understanding.
Well, I totally agree with you. So let's talk about that for a minute because I can't get on board with this. I mean, see, it seems like the division is just so real in every facet of everything right now. Like, for example, how on earth can anybody be okay with the way that they dogpile on Thomas Massey? But then Lindsey Graham is now the poster child for MAGA. It makes zero sense to me. Obviously, we there's some things going on behind the scenes that we obviously can't see, and some that we can't not see. You know what I'm saying? Like you cannot unsee the Christmas party that Donald Trump went to, and some of the things that were said there about the millions of dollars spent on his campaign, and it's
Yeah,
just like who's really running this thing? Like, I mean,
yeah,
look, I'm not going to sit here and say that 2025 was a bust, but I can't sit here and say that I'm comfortable with where we're at with the Trump administration. Now,
yeah,
I know that that's going to hurt some feelings out there, and I'm going to probably take some drawback from people, and they're going to be like, "Oh, you can't say that." I don't know where this notion of not being able to criticize the president and the things that he does came from, right? Because I mean, we just made fun of like two different No Kings protests that happened,
yeah.
like with a bunch of kind of losers out there in the field. So I believe that no one is above criticism at all. But that
Agree.
certainly doesn't mean that I dislike Donald Trump or anything. But if you remember, Antonio, questioning Donald Trump before he got elected on people like Pam Bondi and actually getting some people blocked that were very horrible people from joining the administration. People were very loud about it. And I don't think that that's a bad thing because who should the president's ear be in? Our ear or the
Yeah,
people that work for the deep state? I mean, come on.
yeah.
So
I agree. I took a lot of heat for Pam Bundy. I mean, you saw the
scam Bondi, yes.
you saw the posts and stuff on Facebook, but I just something just rubbed me the wrong way about her. There was like a whole bunch of Fox interviews. She just didn't seem confident. She seemed not really. I mean, I don't know Pam, but I ain't never met her or whatever. But just her demeanor just didn't seem like one that was really trustworthy and confident. And maybe she's never done anything, that's nefarious or whatever. But I saw that in her very early on. That's why I kind of
Mm-hmm.
jumped out there. I was like, all right, that's it. And then I made a post and I caught all kind of flack, all kind of heat about it. But
Yeah.
to your point, yeah, 2025 was not a complete bust, but we talk about this all the time, and we're in a position. We always talk about we're in a battle for goods versus evil, and anytime that I know we need a good economy,
Mm-hmm.
Roy, but if we prioritize money over the moral issues that we're dealing with. And I'm talking to these high level deep state arrests that have not happened. People have ruined our country. They have did surgeries and stuff on minors and stuff like that without the permission of parents. We got child trafficking. If we can't do both of those things at the same time, meaning fix the economy and get these people arrested, then we have nothing. I
Right.
liken it to like taking a pallet of cash, and dropping it off in this horrible neighborhood, and you think you're gonna come back and everything's gonna be running good. No, we're just fueling the same corporations that have turned around and attacked our country and that are trying to that are squishing our rights right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I see that. And if we don't have those arrests, Roy, we
Yes.
can just literally, no pun intended, cancel Christmas, because these people are just going to get richer and even more powerful in this whole process.
Correct. So let's talk about that. The beginning of the Trump administration, everybody was super excited. Not for how the media spins it, retribution. There was no such thing as a retribution, right? So look at the laundry list of things that we've uncovered this year, right? Tulsi Gabbard in the White House, even Scam Bondi, talking about the Russia collusion hoax, the COVID hoax, the now election integrity hoax. So we went through this entire year, and we've wanted to see arrests, and we've asked for arrests, and we've been looking for arrests, and then we were told, hey, give it some time, and just it's only been a couple months, give it some time, we're gonna get there. April comes through, the Epstein list debacle, and then we sail on into the summer. We end up with James Comey, right? Finally, we got James Comey. We all knew what he did. We all knew that what was this? He lied on during under oath. There was a ton of stuff going on there. And then what happened to James Comey? He got off on a technicality. And if anybody out there read the article on how he got off, in the manner in which they provided the information to the grand jury, there's no way that you could. I mean, seriously, there's no way that you could convince me, of all the years that I've dealt with like grand jury type stuff, that they did that on accident. You understand what I'm saying? Like, there was no accident there. The way that they handled that, and they kept things hidden from certain jurors, that's not an accident. And so now Comey got off the hook. And then what happened? Everybody said, slow down. Oh, the 4D chess is going on. That doesn't mean that another judge isn't going to pick it up. And then what did they do? They had another judge either that recused himself of the case, or another judge made a ruling on it that would make it 10 times harder to prosecute James Comey. So here we are. It's December the 26th. We've had 1,000 revelations of truth and absolute zero arrests. Yep. Zero. Not a one.
No arrests.
And I'm scratching my head going, okay, so when is enough time up to be upset? Should I wait until we lose the midterms in 26 so then I can start, stomping the ground that, oh my God, we're not doing something? Because the last I checked, we're running out of time.
Oh yeah. Well, that's part of it, Roy. The time clock. Look at what they did to us here in the state of Georgia. After 2020 election is when, my first time I voted for Trump, my vote was stolen. That's kind of what got me dialed in. And I was just kind of looking at the whole process of even our legislators down here. I mean, we've went by 5 years, Roy? Absolutely nothing has been done to get rid of these machines. Mm-hmm. I'm looking at a post that's gone viral with Clay Parikh in it, the data scientist, mm-hmm. and it says they testified under oath that the systems, election systems in Gwinnett County, which is my county, mm-hmm. Georgia, Colorado, Michigan, and other swing states were remotely accessed from Belgrade, Serbia, by Serbian nationals during the November 3rd, 2020 election. I've said this to many times, and I know you probably saw the post I tagged. I said, there's no way that in Gwinnett County, Georgia, that you had good conservative people that woke up and lost their mind one day and decided to start voting liberals in and destroying their school boards, destroying the county commission, destroying the zoning boards, and turn around and they got a whole different county now. And now they got to hit the road and get out of the county and flip the county. Mm-hmm. I always have believed that. But yet again, another one of my theories were confirmed, and it's going viral now. Our county is at the top of that list. And our country has been slowly getting stolen away, city by city, school board by school board. And what it is it's forced migration where conservative people, they want to protect their children. That's just our high priority. And so when the school board goes awry, you get bad policies, violence in schools, low standards and everything like that, bad teachers, then, they hit the road. So you got a forced migration process. And in the process of them actually taking Gwinnett, they want 2 Atlantas so that they can have a deep purple state or blue state whenever they need it to be blue or purple. But these elections have been manipulated for a very long time. It didn't just happen in 2020.
Yeah.
And look at the situation with Fannie Willis and the whole witch hunt. Rudy Giuliani lost his money, all behind, this thing here. And yes. Back to our legislature, they've done nothing, Roy.
No.
They could jam up the governor, the speaker, the leadership, they could jam all that up and say, hey, look, we're not going to vote for this, but they don't work for us. They don't work for us.
Oh man,
I know I just said a mouthful, but
no,
it's all tied in and connected, Roy.
you made my blood pressure go up a little bit. I'll be honest with you. I've been in a funk, Antonio, because people like you and me, and we do this. We don't ask for anything. We just do it. I think we're half crazy, but it's like after everything that's dropped in the last couple weeks, with election integrity, and just when I sit there and stew on it, I'm like, I don't even know what we're doing. I really don't know what we're doing. Hitting the record button and going live, because we have the worst, absolute worst leadership in the state of Georgia. It's so bad it just makes me want to curse. We've been at this quite a while and got called a lot of names by a lot of different people about election integrity, and why can't you leave it alone? There's nothing wrong. I mean, I have a state representative that to this day tries to convince people with a Venn diagram that nothing is wrong with our elections. And I got to thinking earlier today about Kim Brooks. When we did the episode with the Magic Drive, the USB drive, where they made booklets and gave them and mailed them out to every representative in this state.
They did.
And it just angers me, because all it took was for some hack lawyer that's now working in Fulton County to stand up and say, "Oh no, we're not gonna try to argue against that. It happened, and we've got a brand new building now, and we've got a new election supervisor, and these things. We're taking this very seriously." And boy, oh boy, does that piss me off, Antonio. It just makes me so mad that finally this complaint, and there's several more. Mark Davis points this out quite a bit. I really like Mark Davis and what he's saying. All of these things are getting pointed out now on the daily, to the point where Elon Musk is retweeting this. Like, there is no doubt, zero doubt, that the 2020 election was absolutely stolen. And we've been fighting for years. And now it comes down to this, December of 2025. It's like, why hasn't the federal authorities already went down to the Gold Dome, secured this Gold Dome, arrested every single person in leadership involved in this, and then went over to Fulton County and took over Fulton County and arrested every single person from the state election board and went ahead and got their documents? This is treason of the highest levels. And what is so bad is that as a Republican, I'm supposed to just not speak like this and not have this kind of rhetoric and not feel this way, because you got to take one for the team, Roy. Antonio, you can't talk like this because we got to get the color reelected. And the whole time I'm sitting here going, well, who in the heck has been in charge these last 5 years? Oh, it's the so-called Republicans that's been in charge. So what are you selling me? What am I supposed to sit here and think that I'm supposed to just vote Republican and put these people back in office? Because at least 3 of the people that are involved at the highest level are running for another position in this state.
Yep.
This is beyond clown world. This is some sort of dystopian nightmare that we're living in right now.
Yeah, it's true. Look at what Mike Johnson just did and said at the podium. Instead of him talking about what they're actually going to do because they were elected in 24, he went to the podium and talking about let's beat the Democrats and stuff like that, talking about getting reelected again. There are 3 things, guys, that is a high priority. Number one, Roy just said it, talked about the election and election process. They're stealing our elections. If there was no tax money involved that they had to get access to a portion and try to get subsidies for these corporations and moratoriums and all this stuff, for these builders don't have to pay taxes, and the illegal immigration. If it wasn't for those two things, you could not get these legislators to even run from office.
Mm-hmm.
It all boils down to them leveraging our tax dollars. That is the cash cow. That is the holy grail
Yeah.
of everything and the whole reason why they do this. So when these legislators come around and say, "Oh, you don't vote for me" or whatever, say, "Hey, you've been in here since I don't know how long, quote unquote, Republicans have been in charge, but what have you guys done?" You know, we're a bunch of crazy people, remember, that thought the election was stolen. And we've got nothing out of these guys, Roy, in all this time. Absolutely nothing.
Nothing.
And we're far past, like you said, go out here and, they want us to go out here and vote for a jersey. We're in it's us, we the people versus the globalists. They are no different. They are working together, Roy, behind the scenes. I mean, look at what did we get done this last session? We got tort reform and we got a pesticide.
Well, and that's still in the waiting. Yeah.
Yeah. We ain't got nothing out of this.
No.
Fannie Willis just got hit. I just seen the Gateway pundit. They're reporting that she has been hit with some kind of investigation because she's gotten over almost $3 million in campaign contributions. There are 72,688 donations that average about $39.15 each.
Wait a minute.
Let me read that.
Act Blue, right?
I don't know if this is the Act Blue. It may be, but it said Gateway Pundit reported today. Fannie Willis is hit with an explosive new allegation tied to massive Democrat money laundering. It probably has got to do with the Act Blue. Let me read through this thing right one more time. She has received almost $3 million, $2.845 million in campaign contributions, 72,688 donations that average $39.15. Now, you mean to tell me that somebody that has this type of allegation towards them has done everything right to the letter of the law in the state? We have not saw any investigations for real out of this legislature, Roy.
We don't even have Doge anymore.
They ain't rolled nobody in, down in the Georgia state capitol for no kind of investigation.
No.
We got the perfect state here. Yeah. Georgia's the best place to do business.
Mm-hmm.
We got a DA that's in Atlanta that has been caught doing this. Obviously, it's coming out. These are the allegations against her right now.
Yeah, well, I mean, all she's got to do is give him the middle finger. She's from Fulton County. I mean, Fulton County, they're like the demilitarized zone in North Korea. They can't be touched. Apparently, They can do whatever they want to. They can just look at somebody and say no, and everybody just walks away. I mean, I've never seen anything like it before.
Yeah,
and we've been talking to them about this. I understand that Arizona's got quite a bit of election fraud going on. I get it. I understand other parts of the nation, but we've been telling folks for years that Georgia was the ground zero of actually where this came from. And our president was impeached over 11,079 votes or something like that. And we're talking about hundreds of thousands of votes. And now the cherry on top, you have the lieutenant governor that's running for governor that's now demanding some accountability from our attorney general and our secretary of state during a campaign run. And I'm just sitting here. How can I take any of this seriously? I mean,
and let's just tell it all. And he loaned himself money out of his millions out of his PAC instead of him saying, "Hey, maybe I need to do a couple of town halls with these with the rabble rousers and see if I can at least pretend like I'm interested in what they want me to do for them."
Mm-hmm. Sure. I mean, let's go there. And first off, I want to say to any of the Burt Jones people that are watching, I'm not against Burt Jones. Never have been against Burt Jones. But if Burt Jones thinks that I'm not going to question the things that he's doing, especially if he wants to be my governor in 2026, I'm sorry, but you're full of it, because we're going to question everybody. There's nobody above questioning and criticism when it deals with the people. And again, this weak looking these tweets coming out about how you've been on top of things. I'm sorry, but it looks weak. It looks just as weak as the first week you came out running saying you were going to get rid of the income taxes. Okay, sorry, we're not buying these quid pro quos. And Antonio is 100% right. You loaned yourself money so that you could bypass all the political peasants like him and myself and come into like the real town hall so you can go up with your country club folks and put on these wonderful little gigs. And it's just not, it doesn't look good, man. It doesn't look good. Now, I have, for full disclosure, their campaign has reached out to me and told me that I can send them an email with all of my questions, and he will definitely answer them for me. And the man owes me nothing, but trust me when I say that nobody is above criticism here. So it's just weak. It's weak, man.
Yeah,
It's weak.
I agree. I just, I think we getting the clock run out on us, and that's why I brought up Georgia, and I had kind of missed my point. The 5 years. Mm-hmm. This is a binder right here that this is a lawsuit from that was filed on April 16th, 2024. This has Lori Tullis, she's, I guess, part of the Georgia Nerds. This was them against Raffensperger. But guys, like Roy said, I don't know how many 100 pages this is. Mm-hmm. This thing is like thick. Kim Brooks and, Georgia Nerds, Field Cersei, and
Carnline.
Carnline, all these people that's been doing the work, Mad Liberals, Kevin Monkler, they have put an amazing amount of work into this. And what's even more disgusting is it shouldn't have to take like a Joe Rogan talking about the 300 some thousand ballots to start putting pressure and getting this whole thing ramped back up again. We don't need to see another presentation. And I love the work that all the people that have put in stuff for election integrity. We know the election was stolen. We need our legislature to act. And they're just not going to do it. You know why? Because I was told in my face by a legislator that Kemp didn't want any election integrity bills. But see, we got told that, we got this bill killed at the end of session in order to save some other garbage or something going on. That's but right. they just tapping us along. They're trying to get to, get through this 2026 midterm so that they can lose everything. And so we can get another 4 years and be in about closer to 2030 and we can own nothing and be happy living like the World Economic Forum want us to be living here in the state of Georgia, because Kemp, I guess he loved being over in the Davos and the guy's a globalist.
He's big time. You're 100% right. Let's go back a little bit on some detail. And you've dropped some great names. Like, we have so many good election integrity experts that have been through this whole thing. We have the letter from Brian Kemp to Joe
Mark
Rossi.
Johnson, I forgot his name.
I read it the other day. So none of this is made up. Like, people knew this is going on. Voter Georgia's been working on it for a long time. But let's go back a little bit. How this complaint came up was very simple. All these complaints were being suppressed by the Attorney General's office and the investigative crew. They didn't want these complaints to come up. And thankfully, Dr. Jan Johnson went and questioned this. How many of these complaints are left, and we need to hear them. And this is how these complaints got onto the SCB meeting schedule. And nobody thought that these things were going to see the light of day. Now, if you saw the interview I did, the small interview with David Cross, because even I didn't understand the revelations, right? I was looking at them admitting that they didn't sign the tabulator tapes, that they did not. They've lost these tabulator tapes. All right, and I replay it, and I'm talking to David about it, because David was just as surprised as anybody that they called him and said, hey, your case is coming up. And I think this thing was just way out of the blue, but I didn't even realize the revelations of how many hundreds of thousands of votes that should not have been certified to begin with, on top of all of the other evidence, the State Farm Arena, leak that caught, just like all across the nation, where places shut down until all the Republican poll watchers went away, and then they resumed counting when they pulled the boxes out from under the table. That's no longer conspiracy. The ballot harvesting is no longer conspiracy. So again, there's still about, what I've been told, at least 20 more complaints that will be surfacing probably within the next few months, right? Now, where does that leave the Trump administration and their federal lawsuit against Fulton County and your president of the United States tweeting these things? Like, Antonio, I remember a time whenever there used to be a news story that would break. It was like, breaking, man robs bank, blah, yada, yada. And as they're telling the story, they already have the person in handcuffs. Or, suspect accused of killing, blah, yada, yada. We have the person's in the back of the cop car. Nowadays, it's a bunch of sensational stories where even Tulsi Gabbard will come out and say, we have caught the Clintons red-handed. Barack Obama did this on purpose, and it's all gaslight, and nothing happens. And I think that most of us are catching on now. Like, we're getting sick and tired of it.
Yeah, so, it's like this thing is turned into like a tabloid dispensary to feed like Fox News and the rest of these people with some kind of story into their dying dinosaur news thing. And it's like, no, where's the action that comes behind this stuff? Yes. I mean, like you said, I applaud Tulsi, but there's no action behind this. I think it go back to Pam Bundy, and I don't think she ain't gonna do nothing, man. No, they running the clock out on the president, man. Mm-hmm. They running the clock.
I'm not. Let's talk about something else too. This whole Vanity Fair scoop that came out, and Owen Schroyer put out the best X post that I read yet. Are you more worried about what was said in the with this? What was her name again?
Susie
Wiles. Are you more upset about what Susie Wiles said, or are you more upset that she did 11 separate articles with Vanity Fair? And I said, oh my God, that is the tweet of the year, because if you unpack that and understand what we're dealing with here in the psychological warfare with this Susie Wiles and stuff, I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed with these foreign lobbies that are bragging about the hundreds of millions of dollars as they paid this administration. I'm not impressed with Scam Bondi one bit. I am not impressed with Kash Patel whatsoever. As far as I am concerned, the information that I'm seeing, he perjured himself under oath over this Epstein list. And I think both of us probably agree. I don't know why that people are calling Dan Bongino a hero, but Marjorie Taylor Greene a traitor. It makes zero sense to me. So
I said the same thing. I posted about it, and I said, I'm gonna see how consistent people are gonna be. He quits to go back to $4 million on the Titanic, because he made so many sacrifices or whatever the case may be. But it's like, okay, you're in a position where you can actually take action and really make some stuff happen, figure this thing out. And you said, no, I'm done with this action. I want to go back to talking. I mean, I just, that just blows my head up, man.
Well, and the fact that it took them 5 years to name who laid these January 6 pipe bombs, right? But they only came out with this information a month after a 5-year-long investigation by some investigators, like independent investigators and internet sleuths, had come out and virtually solved this entire case and gave them the female that actually put those fake bombs there. But a month later, all of a sudden, Dan Bongino is getting all the credit for finding this poor autistic guy out of D.C. And I mean, like, it's enough to make your head spin. Nothing ever seems to make sense with any of these investigations, right?
Yep.
And I'll tell you another thing. A lot of people talk about this is some cope right here. A lot of people say, we're jumping around. I'm jumping back to the Epstein list. They say, well, why weren't you this upset whenever Joe Biden was in office? Why didn't you get the Democrats to release the Epstein list? And there wasn't a chance in H double hockey sticks that we could have ever gotten there. And Donald Trump ran on it as one of his campaign promises, see? And so when he ran in 2016 and he ran on his campaign promises, and then he got to brag because he fulfilled them, this was a campaign promise that he ran on. This was not something that we've always been demanding this. but there was never a possibility. So I get so sick and tired of hearing that. I mean, look, I'm not black pilled. I'm not sitting here and telling you that I've given up hope, but I'm not going to pretend like we've had a great year with Donald Trump in the White House, because we really haven't. Okay.
No.
There's a lot of things that are going on that don't make any sense whatsoever. And I'll give you another example. Going back to when our commander in chief nearly lost his life in Pennsylvania, in Butler, Pennsylvania. Okay. And what happened? The acting director of the Secret Service, she retired pretty much immediately and went to the Jelly of the Month Club. No accountability whatsoever.
Nope.
And then they went through 2 more Secret Service commanders with nothing to show for it. An investigation that Tucker Carlson actually did not too long ago, maybe a month ago, when he dropped this awesome video with more information than any of us have. But our own commander-in-chief told us in a tweet a few months ago that, hey, no big deal, they almost killed me. The Secret Service was just having a bad day. Make it make sense. So we're just supposed to forget that you almost got your head blown off, and we're not supposed to ask any questions or expect an investigation?
Yep.
It doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah. It seemed like this low-hanging fruit that could have been taken care of and prosecuted. It didn't happen. I mean, you got Mayorkas,
Yes.
you got
Christopher Wray,
you got Fauci. We can't even get, like you said earlier in the broadcast, we can't even get Letitia James and Comey.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
we can't even get
a joke.
We can't get Letitia James for the same thing that she did to Donald Trump.
Yeah, it's Trump got to pick the right people to go in. I mean, we didn't vote for Pam Bundy.
No.
And I know we want to give the president a chance, but people are forgetting, Roy. The way that founders set this up, it means that these politicians, they're supposed to listen to us at all times. Mm-hmm. Not just, we'll do it next time we vote. No, you're supposed to course correct. And we are the 4th branch of government. It ain't the deep state. It's we the people. Our voices are supposed to be heard, and they should be being heard now. But like you said, Trump's did some good stuff, but look, we ain't got no arrests. I mean,
no arrests.
The country's worthless without it. You can't have a peaceful society if you don't have law and order. And if we're not going to prosecute, arrest, and indict these elite people, then we are living a tyranny.
Well, we're doing the devil's work, man. I mean, how can anybody in the right mind, how can you claim to even be a Christian and not want the prosecutions of the conspirators and co-conspirators of the Epstein case? How could you not want that? It makes zero sense to me. And furthermore, let me talk about the TPUSA for a second, because this all reigns in. But what you said about accountability to the people. So Erica Kirk, TPUSA, I know you've seen some of this last AmFest thing they got, which to me was fairly tasteless. I watched a lot of it, and all it was a pissing match, because they let Ben Shapiro, little Ben, go on there and start up a bunch of crap, and then you had the rest of the speakers pretty much just denouncing him. So it wasn't even a great TP event, because they were just fighting on stage. I found it very distasteful that they had the actual tent that Charlie Kirk was assassinated under there, so that you could do a freaking selfie. I don't know whose idea that was, but that's pretty macabre if you ask me. But here's my point. Erica Kirk goes up on stage and says, we're going to do everything in our power to get J.D. Vance elected in 2028. Now, I like J.D. Vance, okay? But if I'm going to go ahead and tell J.D. Vance that no matter what he does between now and 2028, that he's got my vote, there is zero incentive for J.D. Vance to do anything in my favor.
Right.
They do not need my endorsement. They do not need any promises from me. I would never look at J.D. Vance and tell him at this moment in time that I'm going to vote for him in 2028. This is sicko stuff that we're doing here. What we need to do is we need to continue to hold J.D. Vance's feet to the fire and make sure that he's going to do something that's going to
Yep.
get us through to a 2028 when we're not all machines, for Christ's sake. I mean, it is just like, is it me or is it the whole like WWF theatrics? And you're literally telling, you're giving this man or anybody that this whole organization with zero accountability for the next 3 years. That to me is insane. If this is the mindset that we're working with, then
Mm-hmm.
we're in the wrong room. I'm sorry, but nobody should be promising JD Vance anything, much less any of them,
Yeah,
because we've only been in this a year. We don't even know this cat, man.
I agree. I agree. And again, who was I talking to? Yeah, my mother-in-law was talking about some teacher. They was talking about AI, and I know you probably want to get into that, some aspects of that, and then maybe the data centers of what's happening.
Oh,
But she was talking about, there was a teacher, and these people had made all these AI videos and whatever stuff he didn't really do, and they put it out, and the guy ended up losing his job, and I don't know if he lost his house or whatever. But I say all that to say is when things like that happen, yeah, he might have been found not guilty, but the process is the punishment. Why is the process the punishment? And in the Georgia legislature, the process is the problem. We'll talk about that later. But the process is the punishment. And what I mean by that is, yeah, he might have proven himself not guilty, but in the process, he was demeaned. He may have lost his house, income. You got probably all these articles and things that's coming out, people disassociating, and time that you lost that you absolutely cannot get back.
time and money.
So let's think about this thing with the president right now. And you said it on a previous occasion, Roy. You said they missed, they shot at him again, couldn't kill him. So the deep state decided to, let's co-opt him.
Yep.
Okay, well, what does that mean?
Yep.
Let's just get into bed politically with Trump and tap him along or whatever the case may be, and make him think all this stuff is going on. Now, the president is done a good job with doing the tariffs, and people may agree or disagree with it, but he's trying to force the manufacturing back here. Okay, they countered that and still wrecking the economy. Look at all the taxes that has gone up in our counties everywhere, Roy. The school and the meal rate and everything's going through the roof. So they got a fix on it for that. Again, they just tapping him alone.
Yes.
The process is the problem here, because they're still going to put these data centers in everywhere. That's and they just going to tap Trump along. Oh, yeah, do this. Oh, yeah, everything's great. And next thing you know, he's going to be close to being out if they let him finish his term or whatever the case may be. I hope nothing happens to the president.
So too.
And during this whole process, they still building. Look around. Look at all the apartments and stuff that's going up everywhere. And I know people on the post or whatever that's watching this, they seeing all this construction. It's still happening. This stuff ain't even been grinded to a halt. They still gonna put these data centers in. They still, we still voting on Dominion voting system. These legislators ain't nothing changed, Roy.
No, you said a lot of good stuff there. And first and foremost, yes, let's go back. Donald Trump. They figured out the MO, especially after, look, we know everything's a conspiracy theory, blah, yada, yada. Look, I mean, obviously this kid took some shots at Donald Trump. There's a lot more we can break down there about who he was working for or what happened, but there's plenty enough evidence there. We've got video that he was actually up on the roof with a gun, that he took the shot. Here's the thing. That was what really changed everything for Donald Trump. That's when the DeSantis, bootlickers got off and joined the Trump train. They said, "Oh my God, this is it." This is when the deep state realized there was nothing they could do. And so I think you're right. They figured out his MO. They knew that if they went to the White House and with a box of chocolates and told Donald Trump how good his hair looked and you really are like the savior of the U.S., all you got to do is kiss his butt a little bit, right? And we know this because of Lindsey Graham versus Marjorie Taylor Greene, Thomas Massey. We know this because Lindsey Graham is absolutely abhorrent, an abhorrent individual, a closeted, abhorrent individual that is the worst representation of the Republican Party, yet he now is considered MAGA, okay? Like Mark Levin, that piece of crap who I couldn't stand ever since I was a kid. But my point is that's what we're saying here. The deep state said, "Oh, we got to get him." Why? Because we've talked about it so much on this show. Artificial intelligence, transhumanism, the Agenda 2030, the deep state, one world government, one world religion. It's all been steamrolling this whole time. And we are considerable to China. We're behind the wheel, and we've got to steamroll ahead, which is why you're seeing all these technological advances. Hence, now they're trying to politicize the data center issue. They're trying to make us all believe that, this is the Democrats are going to win Republicans, and absolutely we know the Republicans are involved. But why? Now we have this executive order by our own president now to federalize these data centers. So, and if you ask me, and this is just me hyperbolizing, but I saw my governor, the enemy of our state, who was up at the White House before Christmas, and then shortly after that, I see an executive order about data centers. Could it be that Georgia is too effective in stopping some of these data centers, maybe? Could it be that the people are rising up and saying, we don't want this crap in our rural communities? And then he went up there and begged for an EO? I don't know. You tell me. But it certainly seems plausible. This stuff's rolling on forward. And I don't think there's anything we can do to stop it, to be honest with you. I mean, I just don't see it, especially now. So,
yeah.
They know his MO, dude, and he's playing hook, line, and sinker. And look, I want to believe that this is 4D chess. I want to believe that everything I'm feeling right now, because I'm highly emotional tonight. This is an emotional stream, where it's fact based. But yes, I'm a little pissed at ending 2025 with 0 arrest here. Okay, I'm a little pissed at being called stupid by my own president for wanting an Epstein list released. My point is this stuff's going to steamroll all of us in the near future, and it seems like everybody's involved here, including the Trump administration, and it's sad, because will we ever get things back on track? You know?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I
don't know.
I don't know if we don't see no arrests, like I mean significant, I mean some real heavy hitting arrests by Valentine's Day.
Yes.
Man, I'm telling you.
We're the ones that keep having to move the goalposts, right? All the time. Where I'm having to sit here and bite my tongue. I found this tweet, and this is the one tweet I wanted to bring up. So I'm gonna pull it up, because this is what got me today. This is a Thomas Massie tweet. And no, I don't think Thomas Massie is the greatest thing since sliced bread. Thomas Massie's been a very principled Republican man. But this is what disturbed me. He put this was on the 25th. Merry Christmas to you, Mr. President. So I've teamed up with radical left Democrats to expose blah, yada, yada. So I'm going to read this tweet really quick from Donald Trump. Merry Christmas, including the many sleazebags who loved Jeffrey Epstein, gave him bundles of money, went to his island, attended his parties, and thought he was the greatest guy on earth, only to drop him like a dog when things got too hot. Falsely claimed they had nothing to do with him, didn't know him, said he was a disgusting person, and then blame, of course, President Donald J. Trump, who actually is the only one who did drop Epstein. I believe that. I believe that he dropped Epstein. Never, ever once in my life did I think that Donald Trump had anything to do nastiness with Epstein, right? And long before it came fashionable to do so, when their names get brought out in ongoing radical left witch hunt, which is not a radical left witch hunt, and he said, and this is what he puts, plus one low-life Republican Massie. That pisses me off. But listen to this. This is the tell-all here. And it is revealed that they are Democrats all. There will be a lot of explaining to do, much like there was in maybe blah, blah, blah. So here's my question. Here's my question to Donald Trump. If it's that simple and they're all Democrats, then why did you call me stupid, or why are you trying to politicize this as left versus right? I want to know. Because that was his words, not my words. I'm only responding to what he said. He's calling Thomas Massie a lowlife here. But if he's admitting that it is all Democrats, and then you're wanting to politicize this, then why do we wait so long? And why did you call your base stupid? And why are you attacking and calling your Republican constituents traitors if it's all Democrats? That doesn't make any sense to me. Make it make sense to me, you know?
It doesn't.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I told I had talking to my wife at the table about this same thing. I saw the tweet. I pulled
Yeah,
it up. I said, this is nuts. And I said, hadn't it been for Marjorie Green, who he called a traitor, Anna Paulina Luna, Thomas Massey, and maybe a couple other people, that list wouldn't even be out. And then
exactly.
he made such a big fuss about it, called people traitors, and all of a sudden, he come in hot, load the Epstein list up in his political gun and shooting at the Democrats, but still, calling Massey and Marjorie and people traitors. I just
Exactly.
it don't make any sense.
It makes
But you
zero
know what I
sense to
think it
me.
is? Trump has his own mind, but he's still accountable for saying this stuff. But the people that's close to him want to get rid of any faction of any real America First, Make America Great Again legislators or anybody in there to really watch to have his back.
Exactly.
I think it was really foolish of him to do that, because somebody that's like Marjorie, that's really going to stand on the right thing, he ain't got that in there no more.
Yeah, and Marjorie's not perfect either. I haven't spoke to Marjorie in what 3 years or whatever. I don't care about Marjorie Taylor Greene. Look, she is jumping ship. She's leaving, and I believe that Marjorie Taylor Greene has had enough. I really do. At first I questioned it. Is it some sort of a ploy with her? Is she going to turn around and run for governor? Because as much as I would love to see her governor of the state of Georgia, that would have really made me mad. That would have made me angry if
Yeah,
Marjorie was using this as some kind of political stunt. Obviously, I don't think she is. But
yeah,
again,
yeah. I don't think she
you
is either.
know, we're talking about truth here, right? Like, how it makes sense of all this to me. How on earth did these tables flip? Look, if this is all outside influence from like foreign governments here that is controlling all this, and they're trying to hide the secrets and stuff, I'm sorry, but you're losing the battle when you sit there and you call your base stupid. You
Mm-hmm.
try to placate us about something, and then you turn around and politicize it, and then you turn around after it's being released saying, well, it's all Democrats anyway. None of that makes any sense. And
Yeah.
yes, I say I've said it, and it'll be out in January, that I think somebody needs to go up and kind of slap Trump in the back of the head and slap some sense into the man. Okay?
Mhm.
And that doesn't mean that I don't like Donald Trump. You
Mhm.
bootlickers out there that are going to come at me and say, oh, God, he's talking bad about Donald
Yeah.
Trump. He's anti Trump. It's
I think
so stupid, and we're way above that level here, folks.
people got to grow up, man. I've been
Got
saying this
to.
for almost 2 years now, Roy. It blows my mind, and I said this about the Georgia legislators. It
Yes.
blows my mind that we can sit and watch a football game, yell at the screen,
Mm-hmm.
we can yell it from the stands. Why are we yelling at the people, quote unquote, on our team? It's because we want to win.
Well, what?
You yell, you cheer when it's good, and you yell when it ain't. It's like,
Yes.
what? This is nuts.
So why do we go hard on Republicans? It's very simple, man. We expect something out of the Republican Party, right?
Yep.
Like, I didn't join up the Republican Party and just sacrifice my time to sit around and bootlick. I didn't join the Republican Party so that I could figure out what part of the table I can get at and move up.
Mm-hmm.
I joined because the Republican Party is sick. It has a virus. It's called Uniparty, Rhino, people that have been in charge for a long time, and I'm just supposed to go along with it. Would you do that if you went to a church and then the pastor started sacrificing a child or something, for God's sakes? And you idiots out there got to realize this is not about like party loyalty and crap. This is about real accountability and responsibility. And if the Republicans won't do it, then neither party is worthy of my vote. See, we either get real principled Republicans into these positions that are going to do the right thing, or screw the parties. Okay? I can't make any complaint. I didn't join this up so that I could become cool or something, because the Republican Party doesn't look very cool right now. It looks like crap. It's irrelevant as all get out. Okay, there's nearly anybody that looks really good I mean, there's a few, don't get me wrong. But my God, not near enough of them that do, Antonio. And I'm just so fed up with this facade. Like, well, you can't talk like that. You can't say those things. You just gotta hold your nose. Guess what? I ain't holding my nose for nothing anymore. Nothing. So
Yep.
that's why
Well,
we go hard on Republicans, dude.
yeah,
I'm no better or worse than any of these people, but like my God, don't sit there and stab me. Not even in the back, stab me in the front. We expect more, and if you're not going to give us more, then you're not getting our vote. That's all there is to it.
yeah. Hey man, I couldn't agree more with that. You know,
I just get so
um,
mad, dude.
yeah,
It's nasty out there.
yeah. We I don't see any. Well, that maybe one or two people
There is. I've named
running in
them. I don't
Georgia.
care.
So
You know.
what are your thoughts to people, Roy? Oh, this what I this was my what I wanted to say. One of the another issue that we have is we don't have we have people that are looking at the service in the government as like a career opportunity,
Absolutely.
whatever. So when they take that mentality, they're not going in to conquer. They're going in to survive the legislative session,
Sure.
to survive this next election round and survive. And when you move like that, then you're not looking, you start making deals and stuff because I got to
Absolutely.
be able to get back next session. We need conquerors. We need people to step up and be willing to say, hey, if I'm not here next session, then may the next man up, grab the torch and take it a little bit further. We got people trying to survive the session. That's why nobody won't stand up to Kemp. That's why nobody won't stand up to Speaker of the House down here in Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's why some of the people in the United States Congress won't stand up maybe when the president is wrong.
No,
No, we need
come
you to
on.
tell the president when it's wrong. Congratulate him when it's right, but we need him to know when he's off course so that we can make sure that these things are done right.
Yeah.
We need conquerors. We don't need survivors.
How we do. We just can't get any elected, man. I mean, we can't. Look, and I've been watching a lot of the newbies come up. Like all the I'm in District 14, and we have like I think 187,000 people running right now for Congress, and we I think we get an average of like 3.5 every hour that come out and say they're going to run. And I've been watching a lot of them, and hardly any of them are even touching on this election integrity stuff. It's I think it's funny to me, and every one of them's got the same messages and the same stuff. But I haven't seen a lot of these people like out at the Capitol or involved in any of the things that really matter. And what I mean by that is that I don't expect people to be as hardcore as you and me, or like the Voter Georgia, or Georgian for Truth, but you can't sit there and sell me the same old bull crap of, oh, I'm going to go up there and I'm going to fix this thing whenever we have Marjorie Taylor Greene that can't even fix it, okay? But you know nothing about the election integrity and election fraud that has been happening in the last 5 years. But our revelation is just as big as COVID or the Russia hoax or anything else. And there's crickets from these people. And,
Well,
come on, man.
Well, I think we should change our messaging, Roy. I
Maybe
think
we should.
we need guys to be hardcore right now.
Yeah,
That's it's the only way.
it is.
We need warriors. Say, hey, look, if you can't be a warrior, if you're going in here to survive and make friends and all of that, look, you're not our guy.
No.
So don't ask me to vote for you because I'm not gonna vote for you. We need to know that you're gonna do the right thing
Yeah.
all the time and
Well,
even when it's hard.
let's take Marjorie, for example, because I work with a lot of people who don't vote. I know that sounds terrible to people out there, but I actually work in an industry where people could give two craps about any of this stuff going on, right? I get they have a nickname for me called GOP, and they sing the Michael Jackson, the GOP, every time my phone rings because they don't vote, and they don't give a crap about any of this that's going on. And sometimes ignorance is bliss, right? I get it. I don't chastise them for doing it. Every opportunity that I have, I tell them to go vote, and I try to keep them informed of who's running and where, but they don't give a crap. Kind of like I feel sometimes. I don't give a crap. I just want to throw all of this away and just just walk away. But you have these situations like Marjorie Taylor Greene. They always bring up, well, Marjorie Taylor Greene, she's a multimillionaire. She made $25 million. Yeah, and shame on Marjorie Taylor Greene for ever talking about what Nancy Pelosi for stock trading, right? But it is perfectly legal, and my argument's always been like this. Okay, did Marjorie Taylor Greene break any laws? No, she didn't break any laws, right? The laws are in place for her to do that and whatever. So God, whatever she did or whatever, who cares? She's a multimillionaire now, right? But if you don't like that law, if you don't like politicians getting rich, then you should enact laws. And the warriors that you're talking about should be the ones that stop these people from being able to trade stock. It's that simple. Show me the laws that she's broken. Does it make me uncomfortable? Well, I mean, really, not really. That's her life, right? Because that's what you said. The system's designed to do that. The system is designed to bring these people in and rope them in and throw them down in a chair somewhere and say, you either do what the heck we want you to do or we're going to ostracize you. And it is a horrible, nasty cesspool from the state level up to the federal government. And I don't know that it can be saved, right? Here we are a year in, and I'm sitting here looking. If I make a list, and believe you me, I am forever grateful that Donald Trump was elected president, right? My president, okay, who is doing good things. But the things that we were promised, the things that we've been focusing on for this year compared to the good list versus the bad list, we're ending 2025 weak. That's all I'm saying. We've got to have more. And why am I saying that? Because you only have one more year here to get anything done. And we're already through with Doge. Doge is a thing of the past, right? We have no idea what's going on now with our money. The tariffs, I believe like you, they're great. But guess what? I thought the tariffs were going to pay down the debt. Instead, our president is throwing out $2,000 checks to us next year. It doesn't make sense to me. I'm all for it. That's But, like, what are we doing with the tariffs? Yes, the borders are closed down. Thank God they're closed down, but we're in one war after another. If it's not Nigeria or Venezuela or now Benjamin Netanyahu is coming for Iran again, it's like, what the heck is going on here? Where's the diplomacy? We've got artificial intelligence rolling out leap over bounds, executive orders for data centers. No, I'm not comfortable, and we have one more year to do it, man, because we are this week now with the leaders, the so-called leaders we have in charge, that we're very likely to lose the midterms, and then it's going to be impeach city for the next 2 years. They're gonna neuter Donald Trump, and we've already run this clock out by the year.
Yep. He won't get any of his picks in for his judges and all the other stuff. The whole everything gonna be grinded to a halt. The Democrats are going to do what the Republicans in Georgia, our legislators, should be doing to get things done, to force the governor to the table to get what your constituents are asking for. But again, they don't work for us, and this all goes back down to the stolen elections. Yes. It's all rigged. I think many of them know it.
Yeah, they know it.
There's something going on with that, and that's why they like, look, we just gonna continue to worshiping at the altar of the who's ever in charge, so we can survive and continue to be a legislator.
100%. We've called the RICO case clown show for years now. And it was. And after all is said and done, it's finally over with, the RICO case. Now they're going after Fannie Willis. After all this, she still gets to go up there and make herself look like a fool in an investigative hearing. But this is the travesty of Georgia. This is it. Well, you think that's been a clown show? We have 3 people, Gabriel Sterling, Brad Raffensperger, and Chris Carr, that are all running for other positions of representation at this moment, 10-10 on December the 26th, and all of them are complicit and traitorous to this nation, this state, and they should be in jail right now, along with the governor of this state, for the crimes that they have committed and the crimes that they have abetted. So you just think about the clown show that we are going to go into, because our own GOP, our feckless GOP, won't even hold the standards to Brad Raffensperger, as the body of the state voted on, that he cannot run on the Republican ticket. But they're so weak and so feckless that they won't even honor that. Okay? The people have had the upper hand for so long, and the clown show just continues to get more bombastic. It's insane. I don't know if we don't see some sort of arrest come out of Georgia in at least the next 3 months. Like, I don't know. I'm liable to throw in the towel. It's not even going to be worth it to me. You see what I'm saying? Like, when is
I see
enough
exactly
enough?
what you're saying. And since you brought up the GOP, if any other people that supported McCoon or watching or whatever, you're getting what you voted for.
That's what I
Yeah,
said.
getting what you voted for. Explain to me the plan that this guy had. And look, we've got broomed race after race after race after this convention. And where is he? He went on the clown show on WSB to try to make up excuses. Yeah, the winning coach went on there. And look, I don't have anything personal against anybody in politics. This is about the Constitution and what's best for the future of this nation for our kids. That is the high priority. And I don't understand what people looked at and saw when they actually supported Josh McCoon.
Well,
and I believe a lot of you were looking for an opportunity to have a seat at the table because of the fraternal order that's in place. Because that has nothing to do with the Constitution and law and order and the middle class. That has to go with worshiping people that are in positions that can invite you to the table rather than you making your case to the people and letting them elevate you in the position that they want you to run for. But you guys are getting exactly what you voted for in his leadership. And it's nothing personal about this. At least Cross had a plan. He had it laid out. And I believe we would have had a good format or something to hold him accountable to, but also there was a roadmap there that could have been modified. You know, say, hey, Cross, I like this idea, whatever. Hey, what you think about us trying it like that? Boom. You get nothing with McCoon except corporatists meeting after private meeting in this club or whatever. And it's just, the state of Georgia is getting what it voted for. And I'm glad Steve Bannon, finally picked up the microphone and started to talk about it and call it what it is. It's feckless, low energy, and establishment games being played here in the state of Georgia. And it's embarrassing.
You said it. I mean, I've told David Cross this personally. I didn't vote for David Cross. I voted for change. I voted for the change that David Cross was offering, right? Because at the end of the day, you still got to hold David Cross's feet to the fire, right? You got to make sure that what he's talking about implementing would be done. You see?
Right.
It's nothing personal here, but everybody wants to make it personal. You're 100% right. The vast majority of the Republican Party are just people who are wanting to fit in. And it's not unlike any other thing, Antonio. We all want to walk into a room and we want to feel good and we feel like everybody likes us and that. Nobody wants to walk into the room and be the sour grape or the odd man sticking out. But the problem is if we don't fix this stuff politically and we continue to you can't be some sort of grassroots activist and claim that you're trying to clean up the deep state, but then you're going to go in and sit down and play cards with them. You cannot do that. You've got to keep your principles. And I've heard Republicans recently say that, well, now's not the time to be principled. I'm like, that blows my freaking mind when they say that. You're telling me at certain points I'm supposed to compromise my principles of the party and just go with it, which is the same mentality here. Everybody just wanted everybody to look away, just turn away and just vote. And yes, you're exactly right. I did not expect anything to change from June, and it hasn't. In fact, it's gotten worse. And and say what you will. Let's see. I know that Sally Grubbs now, she's the second vice chair. She's just been appointed to the SEB, and now her and David Cross are going to be working together a lot going forward in these complaints. Let's see how that they handle each other here, because maybe there will be some accountability going forward and pushing things in the right direction. So who knows, man? Who knows?
It remains to be seen.
All right, all right. We're a little over an hour, so we're going to start going to comments. And like I said, folks, look, we're just airing out our grievances. We've been talking for a while, and no, this does not mean that I'm anti-Trump or any of that crap. We are going to call the balls and strikes. It does not mean that I'm anti-Burt Jones or anything. If we can't be honest with each other, then we might as well not have a conversation, all right?
Yeah.
These people do not deserve my vote for nothing. They deserve to show me what they're going to do by doing it. And keep in mind, folks, that every one of these people that are running in Georgia, there is another legislative session happening in January. Okay? So what we, the people, should be doing is putting their feet to the fire, make it where the rubber meets the road, and let's see what they do this next legislative session. Okay?
Yep.
Because that's what's going to tell us what we need to know. So,
yep.
All right. So let's go back up here. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out. We got some people, got a lot of good comments in here. I'm going to scroll back up. Excuse me. Carol Streeter, thank you. Debbie Weathersby is here. Thank you. And let's see. Bobby Jarvis, good evening. Wow, Bobby Jarvis from West Virginia. Great to have you down here. We are in a state of disarray, Mr. Jarvis. And I know you guys are dealing with data centers up there as well. So, my goodness. Merry Christmas to you, Debbie Weathersby. I hope all y'all had a good Christmas. And Debbie says, hey, Antonio. And Bobby Jarvis, do you mean Peach Kisser? Actually, there's a really cool podcast called Peaches and Bananas, and some good people putting it on election integrity. So a peach, if you're a peach down here, it's actually a good thing. If you're a banana, that's a bad thing. So let's see. Christina Benjamin, thank you. It's good to see you. She was real excited about our show the other night that we didn't do, so I tagged her tonight. So we appreciate you out there, and Merry Christmas. She says Merry Christmas to both of us, Antonio.
Thank you. Merry Christmas, everybody.
And Mark McDonald, good to have you, says, please do not be a bootlicker. I mean, seriously, man. Like, ugh. It's crazy. Like, Yeah, you know who you are out there. Debbie says, I don't understand why all churches do candlelight services. I guess it's just sentimental, right? And Protestant churches to do the candlelight services for Christmas. Yep. I know our church did a candlelight service. I didn't get to go, but I like it. So
it's a lot of fun.
Okay, Michael Proctor, good to have you. Barbara Hambrick, good to have you. We got her straightened out.
Miss Barbara.
Yeah. Debbie says, oh, why don't they do them? Oh, okay. She meant to say why don't. So our church did, and it was good. So thank y'all for sharing everything. Michael Proctor says, calling MTG a traitor is the last thing he should have called her. And I agree. And look, I'm going to say this really quick about Marjorie Taylor Greene. I never did my show about Marjorie, and maybe I shouldn't, right? Because who knows? I don't think that I'm on that woman's crap list and really don't know why. I'd love to find out sometime. So if anybody knows why I'm on her crap list, you can let me know, because we did a lot of stuff for her. And I felt like I didn't care about that. A lot of people did. But her voting record was impeccable. Now, she did a lot of stuff that I didn't really necessarily agree with, and then you can say what you will about Marjorie and what path she's on now. But I agree, and that's what I'm talking about with Donald Trump. Donald Trump should not have ever called her a traitor. I didn't really necessarily agree. You can be mad at Donald Trump all you want. I mean, at Marjorie, but she is one thing she's not is a traitor. And Thomas Massey's not a traitor, and Rand Paul's not a traitor, and all these people. You know, if anybody was a traitor, and I wouldn't call him that, is Lindsey Graham. Lindsey Graham's just a sellout. Oh, yeah. He's a freaking neocon sellout. He's a closeted sellout, and I don't even consider him a traitor. Maybe we should, but my God. So yeah, I get the criticism. A lot of people don't like Marjorie, and I get it. I understand. And Marjorie does. She's got a way with things. When she gets mad at stuff, she just, maybe if she would have kept some Roys and Antonios in her inner circle, she wouldn't quit, right? So what does that say about the people that was around her? I
Yeah.
mean, I'm just saying. But
Yep.
okay, Blake McMillan, good to have you, Blake. Merry Christmas to
Blake.
you. Lisa Adams, good to have you, Lisa. She's dropping a bunch of the old school stuff that which I'll be honest, Antonio, I took about a 48-hour hiatus. I've not been on social media much at all. I needed the break. I just
Yeah,
needed the
it's
break.
good to get away from this stuff sometimes.
Yes. Well, I needed this tonight though too with you because
Yeah.
I
Yeah, I
already
know.
feel better.
Me and you have been lighting the phone up.
I'm
We've
telling you.
been trying to find time to get one in, and then I got a list of people for long list of people
Mm-hmm.
for upcoming shows. We
Yes.
ain't gonna say who they are yet. Put the list out. Well, I'd say one. Uh, we gonna have Kathy Latham,
Good, good.
one of the electors, and on. She since the case got dismissed, some weeks ago, she said she could come on now. So
That's good.
well, see, I'm gonna reach back out to Jeff Clark too and see what he's got going on. He's just been like kind of like in a media blackout.
Mm-hmm.
But I gotta we'll get together too, Roy, because I've got a bunch of people on here, people that's running for office here in the state of Georgia. And I see Holly to read. She's in the comments. What's up, Holly? I got you on
Yes.
my list
Oh
too.
yeah.
I got
Holly's
some
great.
stuff. I gotta want to bring her on to talk about school stuff and just
Mm-hmm.
stuff in general. She always does a great job.
Absolutely. Love these people, man. Activists working hard.
Yep.
Christina Benjamin says, and Matt Gates should have been AG. And, well, that was another casualty of war. Matt Gates, who was one of the first people, the first time I ever saw him talk was a Tim Pool with him and Marjorie. Just showing the process, talking about the process, how everything works, how they sit you down, how they put you on these committees, but you have to vote their way or they make your life. And he was on Tucker Carlson the other day, pretty much telling exactly what happened and who framed him and how he's not. There's another casualty of this war. So,
Yep.
and she's put, what did Pam Bondi do to intervene when the feds raided Trump's home in Mar-a-Lago? Well, nothing. And she was also involved in some of the Epstein stuff, for crying out loud. You can't make this up. So, Jeff Conley, good to have you. Thank you. Let's see. Thank you, Debbie, for tagging everybody. I hope we got some
You
good
did.
people in tonight. That's beautiful. Beautiful.
I got to get Debbie on my PR team too, Roy.
Absolutely. That's
Yeah,
wonderful, man.
yeah, she tagged everybody.
Georgia is run by the WEF, and that is 100% right. It has been taken
Yeah.
over by globalists. You bet your bottom dollar.
Yes.
And Debbie says, you guys have me fired up tonight. I'm sorry, I do too, but I just, this has been bottled up for a while, and I know that most of you guys understand where we're coming from.
Yeah.
We're not up here just blowing smoke, and we're letting off steam, but we're just talking the truth here. Look, when Donald Trump first got elected in 2016, and I don't even have the Facebook post because I deleted my entire Facebook when I decided to start doing this. But the first post that I ever put on about Donald Trump was, thank God Donald Trump has now become our president. Let's hope that we can criticize him and keep him on the straight and forward path that we so desperately need. That was back in 2016. One of these days I'll find the receipt of that. But my whole point back in 2016, y'all, and it's fixing to be almost 10 years ago.
Wow.
Was that
Time flies.
I knew then and there that we had to keep these people on the path. And Donald Trump got robbed of an entire presidency with COVID, and it was very hard to criticize Donald Trump with all the attacks that came his way, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, and we spent 4 years under a brain-dead child sniffer, and everything that Donald Trump got persecuted even more. And now he has persevered. He's risen above that. We got him over the finish line, and we're a year into this thing, and all we're doing is saying, hey, when are we going to get the proper justice served in this system, okay? And we started out hard, man, with Doge. We had Musk in the White House. We were Doging everything. You found out what USAID was. You found out what APAC really was. You found out a bunch of stuff. Even to this day, the Somalis that have used all millions and millions and millions of dollars in a counterfeit, insurance scam, and then another one with a child care scam that's happening as we speak. All right? And all we wanted was some accountability. And instead, the people that exposed that, they got escorted out by the police. Like, where the hell is the accountability? That's all I want. Zero arrests. Like, we got one person, not one person that we could celebrate.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, but at some point, it's not on me to be corralled. It's on you folks,
Yep.
She mentioned
tax money, Roy.
Yeah.
They want you tax money and slave labor.
Absolutely.
Them two things, man. That's make the world go round, Roy.
That's right. And she mentions Haley Metz, the American advocate, who is absolutely fabulous. Haley's been helping me on some stuff, and it's wonderful. So,
okay, let's see here. Okay, Sam in here.
Awesome, man. Sam, and paper, please. Like, we can't give enough credit to these people who have held on for years, dude. For years.
Probably just thousands of miles driven. Them guys.
And he got spit on, man. Remember that? He got spit on by like Mike Collins' little deviant, whatever his name is.
What's his name? Brandon Phillips? Is that the guy?
Something like that,
Well, I'm not sure. I want to misquote. I don't know if that was him.
I can't remember. But, people been spit on. But people run from us to just want to ask freaking questions, man. It's just insanity. She says, we all know what all happened here in Georgia, and it did. It did. Lisa says, Kim Brooks gave the state election board members copies of the evidence during the SCB meeting in 2024, and then she addressed it during a 5-minute opportunity. They did nothing. Yes. And let's see here. Let's go. Brittany Hurst says, I was in Michigan when the 2020 election happened, and I was so pissed because they asked for my license, but they never allowed me to take my mask off. So who's to say I was not the person that my license said I was?
Oh yeah. So Sam Carline said that's correct. It was Brandon Phillips that spit on him.
Yeah. Never forget that. And I would love we've found so much stuff out about him. Michael Anthony, good to have Michael Anthony tonight, man. I love Michael Anthony. He says, some small things will come to the month of January, but it won't be enough for what the people wanted and voted for. So I believe that. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and just give up hope. But again, if you ask me my honest opinion about 2025, man, no, it's not been enough. I mean, it just hasn't. What have we really got to show for it? So, and Thomas White brings up a good one. He says 27,000 Floyd alone. A lot of people forget about Floyd County and the work that Mark Swanson has done.
Oh yeah.
And again, Floyd County is another epicenter of corruption that even Kamala Harris was involved in years ago. And my God, man, it's rampant all over the state. We're not just talking about Fulton. Fulton County is enough to decertify the election and obviously to get things rolling. But if you want to talk about north, south, east, and west, it's everywhere. Everywhere.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
And Michael Anthony says, I remember when we talked about giving people the truth, but it had to come to now for people to realize sometimes truth doesn't come to the people that want it. I agree with that. And never forget there is a new alliance of power with an agenda that is now being influenced in all of the 50. That's, I believe, like Antonio had brought up, this is, if you can't beat them, join them scenario. And we still have Agenda 2030 coming, all right, folks. Bill Gates is quoted, and you can go look it up, in saying that if people do not accept the digital ID by 2028 in America, that they will be left out of society. This is a quote that he has said. So if you think that we're not going to have digital ID and it's not already rolling out in these phases that we've talked about on this show, it's
Mm-hmm.
alive and well, and it's coming. And we can sit back and look at the UK all we want, but guess what? They're gonna do this to us too. So
I wonder, Roy, because I'm thinking as you talking, all the illegals and stuff that's been brought in. You know, well, let me go back further. They had to steal these elections because they can't win on the ideas, and so people are smart. They'll go and pull the lever for most of the time whoever the best person is. So they got to manipulate this thing. They need a guarantee. So it's the same thing. If you think about why did they bring all these people from the third world here? It's because people like me and you, and probably most of, I would have say at least 90 or 100% of the people that's watching your show right now, they'll just sit back and fold their arms and say, we will not participate in this dystopian society that you guys are proposing. Well, in order for the engine to actually run, it needs to have different parts and fuels and to be able to support this engine. Well, voila, that's going to be the people that came in from the third world. They will rush and get a digital ID because they're already hooked on the baseline of the infrastructure, which is the social system, food stamps, and all kinds of other things that they've got tied in, the housing and all of that. They're going to be good socialists because they came in and they have to depend on the system. Well, we're already here. It's enough a faction of us that's already set up.
Yeah.
So I believe, it's just my theory here, that they have a particular percentage that they want to get to as far as enough of digital IDs going out in all of these different areas. Now, all these apartments in different affordable housing, which is nothing but a new name or the new face for potential new reprogram for like Section 8. They got to get so much of these housing and so much of these people into these places to be able to actually support this infrastructure, or else guess what happens to it? It falls apart.
that's right. I think you're spot on, man. I really do. I mean, replacement migration. We all know that the Democrats wanted this because they'll vote Democrat in the first place. And anybody that wakes up, anybody that lives on this soil and has half a brain and can see how stupid all of this is, they're not gonna go with it. But it's they want low information, uninformed voters. They don't want people like you and me out here talking like
Oh yeah.
this. They
See,
want little compliant boys and girls.
they do. That's why they got to steal the election too.
Mm-hmm. And what good is the Republican Party if that's all you want too? If all the Republican Party wants is just good little boys and girls that's going to do whatever somebody tells them to do instead of demanding accountability, right? Then I'm sorry, it's the wrong party. I don't know. But Trish Ann Hay says no one gets a pass, not even Burt Jones. Please comment Burt Jones' appointment, Sally Groves' appointment. That's to be. So again, like I said, my first question on that was, well, how did she get appointed in the first place? I didn't know that he can appoint one, and then Raffensperger or whatever and John Burns can appoint one. So I would like to know what happened to the other guy to begin with, right? So now that Sally Grubbs has been appointed to the SEB, well, let's see what Sally Grubbs does, right? Sally Grubbs has worked on some election integrity stuff. Is she willing to go out and foresee this this revelation of a case that's been sitting for 3 years that everybody knew was there, but it had to break in a courtroom by some, a strange lawyer from Fulton County? So what is Sally Grubbs going to do? Let's see what she does. They're going to have to hear these cases and see what happens, man. And Michael says, don't forget the Brunson brothers. Yeah, which disappeared totally. Somebody brought up the Brunson brothers last week, but I couldn't find anything on it. So let's go through here. He says, don't tap out for them. Stay strong and everybody enjoy your holidays. Yeah, well, I'm going to tell you, it's wearing on me for real, for real. Thank God for Dr. Jan, absolutely. Let's see here. We got some more people tagged. Thank y'all for all that.
Yep, they did a great job tagging people tonight.
Yes. She says it doesn't make sense if the American people knows all about it, but our government don't want to do a dang thing about it. It's obvious. And if this was you or they would be knocking on your door, knocking through your door to get us. 100%. Yeah. But until the JFK files are released, forget real credible investigation on attempted assassination like President Trump. Yeah. I mean, Donald Trump told us forget about it. He said the Secret Service having a bad day. What oh, sorry, my bad. I won't look at Butler anymore. Let's see here. Oh, yeah. Now Lindsey Graham is being tossed under the bus by the CIA and FBI for the cash flow back from Ukraine. Well, we knew that was going on. Everybody knew it was going on. And so
Man,
what are they going to do about it?
when are they gonna run some type of? And see, this probably will never happen. All this money going to overseas to these different countries, just all of them. They doing that, but taking this money, bringing back and dumping it into people's campaigns again. What are they stealing, Roy? This is our tax money. It's not literally the tax money, but when you print off money, it's still stealing away from us because it's devaluing the power of our money. It's like the illegal aliens.
Yeah.
There's more people. It raises the demand for products. So they're still stealing our money. They're stealing our money like that, Roy.
Mm-hmm.
They're stealing it by way of these social programs, food stamps. Look at the $9 billion up that they seen up in Minnesota.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And why did they get rid of Doge again?
Yeah.
Because they don't want to find out where the money is being stolen from.
Right.
Because that's the holy grail and the whole reason why a lot of these people even do this, Roy, the politicians.
Right. And you got Tim Walz and being supposedly investigated over all this too,
Mm-hmm.
and they've had to admit some wrongdoing. Oh, I'm sorry. If I go rob a bank tomorrow, can I just admit that I robbed the bank but not get prosecuted because nobody else is getting prosecuted? So can I do that? Can I just go steal a couple $1 million and we'll fund War Room and Small Town Underground, and y'all just look the other way because, I'm sorry, we just had to do this. It's ridiculous to me.
So, Holly missed your take on, give your take on Bongino stepping down again, Roy.
Very simple. Bongino, why are we calling Bongino a hero and calling Marjorie Taylor Greene a traitor, for God's sakes? Look, Bongino made his entire fortune off of the Epstein list. I get criticized from people just like Mike Dean Tiles. I was called a liberal and Democrat for this same conversation. I got criticized when I did my Epstein episode because Epstein means a lot to me. Because of the newbies coming in that have conflated it with Donald Trump, right? Well, you just did Donald. No, it never had anything to do with Donald Trump. It still doesn't. By his tweet, it still doesn't have anything to do with Donald Trump, right? But I got criticized for that because they don't have a clue just how many years we've been looking this up. And Bongino made his entire freaking living off of telling you that Epstein didn't kill himself and that what he would do when he was in power. And neither him nor Kash Patel have produced anything, especially don't believe the crap about the J6 bombing, because I'm telling you, if you've seen the other evidence that was released a month before our government finally got off their butts and did something, you won't even believe how crazy that story is. So no, he's not a hero. I'm not going to be tuning in to Dan Bongino when he goes back to his little cushy, podcast chair to just tell me how crazy. If you've seen the things I've seen, man, you were ineffective. You didn't do anything, and you're not getting a Medal of Honor from me.
Man, that's like somebody starting in a football game that you actually like in the Super Bowl, and then they go to the sideline and say, "Hey, coach, I think I can help win the game by sitting up in the stands talking about what's going on." I mean, this is like this clown show, Roy, like you say. But other people are the traitors. This is crazy.
Kash Patel perjured himself already with the Epstein files. He perjured himself. He should be reprimanded at least, okay, if not arrested for perjury. Do I think that Kash Patel should leave? Absolutely not. I'm not against Kash Patel. He perjured himself inside of a Senate hearing committee over the Epstein files. Okay? Sorry, but I've lost faith in you, Kash. Between you and Scam Bondi and Bongino, who were supposed to go up there, who you were telling your people, by God, when I get up there, things are going to change. Nope. Ain't nothing changed. Ain't nothing changed, and sorry, but I have little faith in you people. So, okay. And Michael says, as long as the Clintons are walking free, there will be no justice. Yeah, remember 2016? Because you'd be in jail. My God, the Clintons, man. God, don't even get me started on the Clintons. I mean, look, we knew
Do
the
a whole
Clintons were in the
episode
Epstein
on that.
files, but my God, I mean, oh, it's just so bad.
All the dead people that end up
Yeah, the
connected with the
Clinton,
two.
what is it
Yeah,
called? The
yes.
Clinton family tree or whatever. Yeah. I mean, it's amazing to me when you go down the Clinton rabbit hole and
Yeah.
just what I mean, it's amazing to me. Oh my goodness. Okay, we're getting into some good comments here, so we got to move it along here. So I'll read this from Thomas, but I'm trying to figure out his angle with that. All the folks that were diehard Trump, MAGA, America First, pushed away and ridiculed as traitors in the drawing in of sleazeball trash like he has. No one's that stupid. Again, make it make sense. That's all. I don't understand it. Nick Ware says people have bought into the idolatry of politics and cannot see the truth. Both political sides are being played. You're 100% right.
That's true.
And furthermore, everything is being politicized. Even the Epstein list, data centers. I'm going to tell y'all folks right now. There's no way that you're gonna pull this politicization bullcrap with me and make this a Democrat Republican issue. This is a World Economic Forum issue. Do I understand that we have to have technology and that we've got to keep up with the world and blah? I absolutely do. But I'm not going to crush our entire communities in America to achieve that goal. Okay, I'm not going to become a transhumanist to achieve that goal. All right. People talk about China being the threat. Well, who in the hell has been funding China for the last 50 freaking years? It's been the U.S. We moved all of our industrialization over to China. We let them steal our secrets, and they are a communist country. We should have never had a first factory over in China. And we gave them everything, and then we brought them over here into our government and let them swallow around everywhere and steal all of our government secrets. And now you're wanting me to give up my agricultural land to put a stupid data center right in the middle of town? I'm sorry, but no. That's just not going to work for me. Ooh. That's a good comment, by the way. Oh, there's Noreen Canner, my hero. She says the Republicans need to grow a pair and get something done. Man, I say Noreen Canner.
No filter,
governor,
no ring.
She should run for. You realize Noreen Canner ran for governor and she won. Man, whoo, that gold dome would be cleaned out, son.
Man, she'll light that thing up on first day, bro. You know what? I just go ahead. You know that little parking lot. You know when you first get off the interstate, yes. We'll just get us like a little tailgate section and start barbecuing, waiting on people to be running out.
Man, walking out in handcuffs, man. Yeah, one by one. I'm telling you. Lisa Pierce, good to see you. She says they are feckless and ballless, and I'm like, yo, she knows. She knows. And Jason Pierce brings up a point. If the voting system isn't fixed, then so. Give me your take, Antonio. We've got election integrity breaking. We've had blue ribbon committees. We've got three. Hey. We got Sterling and Raffensperger and blah. You tell me, are we going to be voting on Dominion in November?
Man, you're going to be voting on Dominion. That blue ribbon, I told you when it first came out, remember I said this ain't nothing but like a little campaign tour. They're going to go around. They're going to pat everybody on the head and say, hey, look, this week, that's just what they do.
Get used to it, folks. It ain't going nowhere.
Yep. Oh, we're going to make a committee. Okay, go ahead. Make your committee. Nothing ain't going to get done.
Susan Harrell says, I've pissed off a lot of people for saying I dislike Republicans as much as I like them. I mean, show me how they're any different from each other. The only difference is Republicans, remember, Stacey Abrams used to be the biggest election advocate in the entire state. She's shut up now. The Democrat Party just shuts up about it. Would you say they're complicit, maybe?
Hey, she raised like $100 in that $1 billion account or something like that. I heard.
Yeah, I think somebody got some money and told to shut up and sit down.
She ain't got nothing to say.
Because
the Attorney General, nobody ain't said nothing.
If it was about fixing the elections, you'd hear Stacey Abrams on it every day. But she's part of the fix, y'all. So you tell me what's the difference in these two parties right now? Come on, tell me.
Mm-hmm. Yep, come on, let us know.
Okay, Lisa says we need disruptors. I agree with you. I'm trying to disrupt it as much as possible, but it's wearing on me, man. Now, we're going to get to a point, guys, where
Mark, wait a minute, hold on. Mark Davis said he optimistic about the Blue Ribbon Committee. Hey, I don't know, Mark,
Okay.
man. I'm just be. We might have to get you on the show. We need to talk.
Yeah.
I think we're a little bit too optimistic around here for 5 years to go by.
Well, and I certainly Mark Davis has been putting out some great stuff. And he's
Yeah, I
right.
like
He's
Mark. Mark do some
yeah.
great work.
But I need some convincing, Mark. I need some convincing. So, but let's see here. Okay, I'm gonna skip down just a little bit. Yeah. Oh, they vote. They just don't know it. Baby, it isn't their salary. It's the other off the book money. Yeah, we know that. Waiting to see who Trump will or won't endorse. Now, that'd be interesting as well. And I don't know that we even have an ear anymore for him, especially after like June and stuff like that. I don't know. We got big lobbying problems here. Donald J. Trump is focusing on winning a Nobel Peace Prize and was not elected to do that. That was also another weird thing if we're calling it out. Yeah, well, who cares about the Nobel Peace? They gave one to Barack Obama and he killed a bunch of people with drones, Oh, there's Richard Schroeder, GOP federal and state are railroading President Trump and his agenda. They would rather have Democrats win the midterms than grassroots conservatives. I don't disagree with that at all, but I'm going to go further and say that it's not just that. I believe that the deep state has got a hold of Donald Trump, and they've got him in this position, and he's going to have to go along with some of this stuff. All right, this is a deep state play here. I don't want it to be. But all the evidence in my mind points to this. The technocrats have gotten to Donald Trump. I said it a couple months ago. I said, I think Donald Trump might be a little bit compromised here. When you've got people that are giving you $250 million for your campaign, and it came out of his mouth, not mine, well, that means they get a seat at the table, and I'm sorry, but I think it goes further than that. But,
yeah.
Trump's number one focus is money. A lot of other things are just as important. So I agree with that. I mean, we all want a better economy. We all want things to be fixed. But I think every one of us agree, or at least we all agreed a year ago, that we were bleeding to death, right? And what we had to do was stop the bleed, right? Stop the bleed, get things righted on track. How much of this has been righted on track? Obviously, our border shut down. That's a huge, huge deal. It's great. That's a huge win. I think that we're going to see some wins in the big, beautiful bill. I do. Even though it was an omnibus bill, I still agree that we should stop these omnibus. But I think we're going to see some good stuff.
Yep. I'm waiting. I'm waiting, Roy.
What bleeding have we really stopped? If we doge this nation, and then we did away with all this money, and we found out that foreign governments aren't registering, and there's all this money being spent, and then recycled. And here we are in December learning about places like Minnesota with Tim Walz, right? Millions upon millions upon millions of dollars.
Well, actually, billions.
Yeah,
right.
Billions. Where did it come from? That wasn't USAID. So why are we not stopping the bleeding here? We got to stop the bleed, right? So. Well. Jennifer White, it's good to see you. She says most R's in Georgia are actually Dems. That's why they don't care. Aaron Spears, good to see you. Nick, where Donald J. Trump told Hillary that he uses the same tax rules as all her corporate donors. Yes, and that's true. We need to fix that. We need to go to either a flat tax or zero tax.
If we go to a zero tax, the whole government just gonna quit.
Right. Yeah.
We're gonna have one legislator.
Lisa says, I heard an interesting rumor about Chris Carr and McCoon. So we might ought to hear that. And Aaron brings a point. Said that the GOP voted to censor Raffensperger back in 2021. It was never upheld totally. Well, we voted this past year that he cannot even run as a Republican, and the GOP is not going to do nothing about that. They're going to sit on their hands, even though they did it to poor Jeff Duncan, for crying out loud.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He kicked the guy out of the party who wasn't even a factor.
Yep. And Betsy Jorgensen, she's lighting some stuff up. She says, remember this, First Liberty Financial was in play. The Frost family was a factor at convention. Yeah. And I don't think we've heard the end of the Frost either. I don't. Lot more that, and probably a lot more is going to be strategically released as we go through 2026. So we got a lot of stuff probably coming at us, right? A lot. Let's see. Let me go down a little bit. Thank y'all so much. Enid says, like, put Dozal's feet to the fire. So Greg Dozal's another one. You know, I've been impressed by what Dozal is doing. And again, if we want any of these people to do anything, we have to hold them accountable, right? Just because it's an election year, just because they're saying all the stuff that we want to hear. No, we need some stuff in writing, folks. We've got to have a clear pathway forward to things we want done in this legislative session, and now's the time to do it. And whether it's Dozal or any of these people, right? I'm not looking for friends, okay? I don't need any more friends. What I'm looking for is some representation that's going to do the right dang thing. That's what we want. Yes, we're going to meet at the Capitol. You ain't kidding. Blake Ellsbury, Merry Christmas. Blake's running for state senate over here. Aw, there's Holly's comment. Merry Christmas to you and yours. Merry Christmas to you, Holly. We love you. Let's see here. Betsy, there's a difference between quitting and being a traitor. Big difference. Amen to that. And then she says, I'm thankful. Holly says, I'm thankful to see some action taken on behalf of our Nigerian brothers and sisters in Christ. This has been a long time coming, and this type of intervention I support. I don't not support the intervention. I brought that up earlier, and to be honest with you, I don't even know what's going on over there. I honestly, we have a military. We are the world police. We must intervene in some of these places. I'm not even against the drug boats in Venezuela, man. I'm not. I just don't want to see us wrapped up in a whole bunch of more wars, right?
Yeah.
But that's
I
all.
agree.
But no, any Christians that are being persecuted anywhere in the world, I am all for that, man. Christianity is the way. Christ is king, and we need to protect our Christians from being persecuted every step of the way. Let's see. And Richard says maybe if Marjorie Taylor Greene was 100%, everything would be fine. Maybe so. I agree. You know, she's done some questionable things, man. I'm not here to stick up for her. The bottom line was always her voting record for me. Always. Yeah. Sam Carline says, we at Georgia for Truth got a great present from Donald J. Trump. He posted a clip of Joe Rossi at the Gold Dome at one of our press conferences last year. Rossi showing the receipts and telling the world that Georgia owes President Trump an apology. That's big, man. That's big. He is the commander-in-chief, and right now our state has been hijacked by traitors. We knew they were traitors, and now everybody knows they are traitors. So what are we going to do, Donald Trump? Are you going to continue to let this clown show just go on? Or are we going to intervene where the people want you to intervene, where the law says to intervene? Right? Where are we at here? So.
Yep.
Let's see here. I know Joe Rossi's going to be at the Gainesville American Legion. That'll be good. I wish I could make it. But we had a lot of fun that day with Joe down at the Capitol, so hopefully we'll see him again.
Yep, Joe, cool guy.
And Holly says they're also exhausting all of our autism resources. I'm about to drop a post about that.
I saw that.
We've got, yes, agreed. We've got a lot of problems. I'm going to be doing a show soon with our sheriff about like mental health issues and stuff that we're seeing in the jails, and we've got a bad problem. And Sam says there's some new stuff coming out on multiple county fairs in 24. We the people will never give up until the truth is known and justice comes to Georgia. Well, Sam, you're one of the reasons that I don't give up. So I'm telling you, man, it's hard to keep watching this clown show. So let's see here. Getting down. I know Antonio's probably fixing to go to bed. I am too. we're off by 11, no doubt.
You just pull an all-nighter. Let's see how many.
I'm telling you, we probably could. I hope everybody understands out there that this is not just a dump on Donald Trump. This is a cry for help. That we've been sticking through this thing for a year. That's all. And this goes and like when Elon Musk, when Donald Trump is reposting Joe Rossi, when Elon Musk is pointing this stuff out, that means the word is out there. All right.
Yeah, that means it's out there.
It's time to do something, man, because we've how long we've been screaming, we're drowning down here in Georgia. So I'm gonna skip a few guys. Good comments here tonight, though.
Oh yeah, it's a bunch of them in there.
And Mark Davis, good to have Mark in here too. And I want you to be more optimistic. I feel like, again, I want to be. I want to be, but you keep doing you, Mark, because we're gonna keep watching, and we do. There's a lot to talk about. Mark's been pretty spot on the
Yep.
internet here.
Keep up the good work, Mark. Please, I hope you come
Yeah,
back and just give me a you told me so.
yeah,
I
yeah. I
think the
want to
Blue
be
Ribbon
wrong.
is just a dog and pony show and a parade for it. And please come back. I hope I'm wrong, because I mean, we win if we
Yeah.
do.
So Lisa put up this rumor. The rumor is Carr is resigning in January. McCoon will be appointed AG. So I've already heard this. David Cross talked about it on the show, and it seems like, and I don't know, to speculate, it seems like this could actually be real, because if you what I heard a few days ago is that Chris Carr was actually going to represent Raffensperger, I think. Did you hear that same thing? Or
Oh,
I cannot remember, but it seemed like there was a rumor that Chris Carr was going to be stepping in to represent Brad Raffensperger for whatever comes next. Who the heck knows? Which would be absolutely asinine, but yeah. And McCoon will be appointed to AG, and that would be crazy. But at the same time, wouldn't we have called that back in June that eventually McCoon would have been appointed to something, and then that would up Sally Grubbs to the chair and all that stuff? So,
mhm.
I mean, give it a name, right? I mean, it's not that hard to see what's actually going on in the musical chairs. But my question is, and hopefully if Josh McCoon sees this, I got a very simple question. What are you going to do about it, Josh? If you get appointed to AG, are you actually going to handle some of this stuff? Or because Josh McCoon knows what we know he knows.
Mark said Josh laughed at the rumor.
Okay, well, and it might just be a rumor, But my question is, whoever, insert a name. Are you going to pick up the torch and actually do something if you're Attorney General? That's what I want to know. All right. And Enid says, I'm not impressed with what Dozal's doing. Where in the heck has he been in the last 5 years? It's a good question. I mean, ask him. And Greg will be on the show pretty soon. I met him the other night. I want you to ask him the questions. He's answered some tough questions for me, and that's what we need to do. We need to have transparency with these people. So, all right, let's see. Dorothy Michelle, good to see you.
Miss Dorothy.
Let's see. Gosh, I hate to skip all this, but we got to get off here, guys. You guys are freaking awesome, though. Awesome, awesome, awesome.
Hey,
I
man.
see that he says
got the livest comment section on
Yeah.
that I didn't saw.
This
Been a
is
part.
great. You guys are freaking awesome. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and cut the comments, and he just posted one more. If he ends up AG after leading me to believe otherwise, I will be shocked. So there you go. And again, I'm just asking the question. I can't do anything about it, regardless how I might feel or whatever. I want to know if Josh McCoon becomes the Attorney General, is he going to do what needs to be done, right? Because this ain't personal. Well, however I feel about McCoon, it doesn't matter. If you're going to take that spot on whoever you are, you need to be ready to light some people up and get out some freaking handcuffs, because everything is there, everything is out there, and we the people are growing sick and tired of having traitors running the state.
I wish he would become AG, because that's really gonna put the last final spotlight on him.
There you
For
go.
him to actually either do some or not, and then if he do some, then I had to eat crow.
You know how many times I've said, Josh, you know what would be the best? If you took David Cross and you took Josh McCoon and you locked them in a room together with a whiteboard and some markers, and you can't come out here until you figure this out. I think it would be great, because Sally Grubbs and David Cross, they can't stand each other, but now they got to work together. Because it's all about the mission. It ain't about how you feel about any of these people. Everybody's going to have to pull their weight together. That's all there is to it. Either you're going to be a bootlicker and you're going to protect this nasty establishment, or you're going to move forward with people, whether you like them or not. That's all there is to it. Oh, I feel a little bit better, guys. Antonio, you feeling better?
I don't.
I just probably feel
I
better because
don't feel better,
we have
Russ.
such good company tonight. You and everybody on the chat.
Oh yeah, you know what? Matter of fact, I take because the great people that's in the comment section that support the small town.
Yeah,
and they always be fabulous. The comments, man, they're dialed in. They know what's going on. Always got great input.
And hey, don't get me wrong, man. We're not giving up. I mean, I'm not going to give up. I will tell you this. I mean, if I don't know how we can, if we lose 26, it's going to be hard to continue on in this clown show, because we know everybody in the chat knows everything is laid out, man. The path forward is laid out, and it's up to us to bring it right. And we have a golden opportunity here in Georgia, because we now have identified the 100% traders, but we have a brand new session coming that we have the power. We got to use our voice. Everybody knows this is the end of the line. You got a bunch of people running. They're going to have to do something whether they want to or not, right? So we've got to put the heat on them in January. Yeah. And I'm if we don't get some sort of arrest out of this, God have mercy, it's going to be really, really hard for me to take any of this seriously. I'm just being honest. It's like the biggest diamond heist in history, and they get caught with the diamonds, and instead of going to jail, they just drop them off a block down the street. You know what I'm saying? This is ridiculous. So
nobody goes to jail.
Yeah,
and you just get fired.
On behalf of both of us, I want to just send a special thank you out to all of the groups. Several were mentioned here tonight, and the wonderful work that so many people have done, because I'm just a peon, man. We show up, and I haven't done anything, just show up and try to get the word out. But there's so many people that I've met and that have been on this for so long, so many years. And I can't thank you enough, because they called us all crazy. Everybody was crazy, and we were lying. And like I said, even my state representative. And it's just like, at this point, if anybody can hold their head up and say that the 2020 election wasn't stolen, well, you must be stupid. I mean, just if you're plain out stupid, they ain't got a lick of common sense, because the cat's out of the bag. So,
no doubt. Oh, I want to tell everybody Merry Christmas, that if you got in on here late, and Happy New Year. And I know y'all see me online putting something out, whatever.
Yeah.
But I would like to also thank you guys for just supporting War Room Georgia, supporting the small town underground, sharing these posts. It mean a lot to both of us. And again, Roy said it. I know I'm not the smartest guy in the room. That's part of why I do a show and bring people on, and they have the information. I'm literally trying to learn about what's going on. But I appreciate you guys supporting the both of us, and supporting War Room and everything like that.
Yeah, neither one of us are afraid to eat crow. Make us eat crow. I want to be told I'm wrong. And Donald Trump, he needs our prayers. That whole administration needs our prayers. We are behind the Trump administration. We're not going anywhere. Now, we might have to kick and scream a little bit. You know what I'm saying? We may have to just say, hey, enough's enough. But we're in much better shape than we've ever been, and we're 100% behind Trump. And ain't nothing faltered here. We just, like, when is it going to happen? All right? Because if it doesn't happen, if it goes another year and it doesn't happen, and we lose these midterms, well, then, Agenda 2030, you might as well kiss it goodbye. I'm just saying. I'm not trying to be pessimistic or black-pilled, but we're running out of fuel here. So.
Yep, we are.
All right, that's going to be it. I've had a blast with all of you people. Antonio, I love you, man. I appreciate everything you do. I appreciate all the podcasters out there. And I can't wait to see a bunch of y'all in January on the 12th. It's going to be great. We're going to be running all over that Capitol. So,
but, no doubt.
You go to
It,
War Room Georgia,
Roy, you still
support.
got the webs. Yeah, you got it plugged on the bottom.
I do.
On
smalltownunderground.com. If you
smalltownunderground.com.
believe in me, you want to support me, I have one donation link. It's the Give Send Go. You can donate there. Every bit of it helps, especially coming into January. And
Yeah.
War Room Georgia, you can support him. You've got a couple different ways, right?
Yep. You go on the website, warroomga.com, and then you can, it's got some cash apps on there. And man, shout out to Karen Bowen. She always is making a contribution. I really appreciate it. And guys, this helps with stuff like when me and Roy have to travel, different places. He may be somewhere doing something in another county. He's got to drive down. Sometimes people don't have the budget to be able to, it's nonprofits or whatever. We grassroots, we understand that, and we want to cover this stuff. But it really helps us. It helps us put gas in the car. Richard Schroeder is another one. Just a great guy and everything like that. He makes contributions to us as well to try to help us out with some of the stuff that we small costs stuff we incur. We're trying to do the show and getting out in the public and covering stuff. So we really appreciate you guys doing that.
Yeah, y'all are the ones that make it worthwhile, man. But
don't give up. Richard Schroeder requests, he wants us to end in prayer, which is a great
man. That's wonderful. We do. We should. Antonio, I'm gonna let you, and let's all end in prayer tonight. That's beautiful.
All right. Dear Heavenly Father, we just thank you for the opportunity, all the blessings that you have given us just over time, and just for the opportunity to be able to live in the best country in the world. We understand it's not perfect. We pray tonight that people will turn to you, people will repent and follow you, and lead their families and everything in such a way as you would have them do it. We pray for our people that are serving in government. We pray for all of our pastors out here who are trying to preach your word and unapologetically. We just ask that you cover them. And we pray for everyone that's a part of the political movement here in Georgia, all the sacrifices that they have made away from family, driving to the Capitol, all of the things that people don't see behind the scenes. We're grateful for them, and we ask that you protect them, cover them, give them traveling mercy, cover their families too as well. And we just want to thank you for an awesome year in 2025. We pray that more things are done. We pray for our president, and we just ask that you forge a path for us here in the state of Georgia, and throughout the country. We pray this prayer in your son, Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you for that.
All
right. That's it. It was a long one tonight, but it needed to happen. So I appreciate you, Antonio.
All right. Well, we'll talk, Roy. And I know you getting ready to sign out, but I appreciate you having me on Small Town Underground. It's always a great place to come and just let us air it all out.
Likewise, brother. All right, guys. You guys have a wonderful evening, and we'll see you guys next time.